that 60% of LGBT people in St. Kitts and Nevis have suffered from employment discrimination and verbal abuse. Members of this community also face isolation from their families, threats of physical violence, and often live in fear for their lives.
The same prejudices exist in Belize. In 2014, I had to leave my home village in search of safety after receiving threats that my house would be burnt down while I was asleep, because gay men are considered a bad influence on children. In January 2015, while I was asleep, somebody that I knew attempted to stab me while calling me the devil for being gay. A month after that attack, a close friend of mine was murdered. Emerson was stabbed 15 times on the back, shot on the head, and his body was thrown in a river. A year and a half after this murder, the case has not been resolved.
Young people must play an active role in shaping a world that's free from LGBT discrimination. Radio offers a way to change attitudes. I've hosted and produced a radio show called Voices in St. Kitts and Nevis that has over 35,000 listeners, and I deliberately included LGBT people in the show. And initially, a lot of the audience was angry and incredulous, asking why I was even discussing LGBT issues. But the presence on the airwaves of LGBT speakers has meant that the audience and the public are slowly starting to accept the LGBT community and their human rights. And this growing acceptance is vital when we are seeking to overturn criminalization of LGBT people and associated discriminatory laws. And the general community and policymakers can be allies in the equality movement. I worked with the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association's Know Your Rights campaign to reach 2,000 individuals with messages on several human rights themes, with LGBT tolerance being a major pillar. Most countries around the world have signed treaties that hold our governments liable to respect our human rights, and it is important to educate people about these rights.
In Belize, I have helped to form an umbrella network, KCAD, which has supercharged the equality movement. KCAD safeguards the rights of LGBT people, those living with HIV, and sex workers. In 2015, our campaign reached 1,900 men to come forward to get tested for HIV. KCAD holds public forums and debates to make Belizeans aware of issues faced by these minority groups. The removal of the legal barrier to work with the LGBT population in Belize sets a platform for increased health and justice. The United Belize Advocacy Movement has documented 146 discrimination and abuse cases towards LGBT people between 1995 and 2015. Only now can lawyers begin to document and bring these cases to court so that justice may ultimately be served. It has also enabled the Belize Youth Empowerment for Change NGO to meet with the government and regional HIV/AIDS officials to start discussing anti-discrimination legislation. As part of our 2015-2016 human rights campaigns for zero discrimination, we as LGBT advocates have been collaborating with businesses and the media to promote acceptance through LGBT-friendly signs. Displayed at their premises and in promotional campaigns, these signs make customers aware of issues faced by the LGBT community and promote good sexual and reproductive health.
We hope that this court ruling in Belize will pave the way for decriminalization of LGBT communities, not just in St. Kitts and Nevis, but right across the Caribbean. And all of you can play a role in delivering these changes by working with governments, civil society, and local activists to pass, enforce, and promote anti-discrimination laws for LGBT people. Unity is key in the elimination of discrimination against LGBT people. Young leaders, we must actively demand this. Let us break the silence. We cannot lose another brother or sister to hate crime.